If you think all otherworldly reincarnation stories are the same, get ready because this story is completely different. It is full of curses, demons, and terrifying secrets buried for hundreds of years. So without taking too long, let us begin the story. The story begins from the very start with a terrifying demon eating the skull of an old woman. Then a little girl appears in front of him and thinks that he is just a ghost, but she does not know that this moment will change her life forever. On that day, the ambulance arrives at the scene and finds the injured little girl unconscious in a hole. The rescuers discover that she is still alive, so they pull her out immediately. 1 year later, the girl grows up and enters high school. We learn that her name is Nanoka, and she lives with her grandfather in a house. She calls out to him while going down the stairs and says that she is late for school. Her grandfather did not even know that today was her first day of school. Nanoka prays for her father and mother before leaving the house. Then her maid Zoma appears behind her like a ghost, carrying a serious vegetable juice full of vitamins and minerals, and tells her that she has to drink it before she leaves. Nanoka says thank you, but she does not need it today. But Zoma turns into a real demon and says, "Tell that to your grandfather, sweetheart. You are not leaving here until you finish your cup." Her grandfather asks her to drink it so she can stay healthy, and unfortunately Nanoka has no other choice. She drinks the whole cup in one gulp and says this is the worst thing she has ever tasted in her life. Then she runs out quickly because she is already late for school. The moment she arrives at school, she goes straight into gym class. Nanoka takes part in the running race and loses every round. Then she stops when she hears the whistle, and the teacher says that she finished the distance in 17 seconds, which means that she is very slow. The students all think that she is cheating at running. Meanwhile, her classmate Haruka talks about a strange topic in class and says that a ghost appeared in the abandoned market area, but she still does not have any proof. Every time she gets close to that street, she hears strange sounds and remembers that an accident happened there 8 years ago. Yui and Hitama pull her aside and ask her to lower her voice so there will not be a problem because Nanoka's family died in that accident 8 years ago. But the move still turns out to be stupid, and Haruka goes to apologize to Nanoka, reminding her of the matter. Nanoka pretends that she forgot the whole thing a long time ago, and we learn that at the time she was still in elementary school. She was riding in a car with her father and mother who died in the accident, and they were passing by the old market street. Suddenly, the car literally went underground. They all remained trapped inside the car until they died. Even now, nobody understands how Nanoka came out of the accident safely. After school, Nanoka goes to that same street and notices that the road has become new again, as if nothing ever happened. Then she sees her classmates coming after her, and they are still talking about ghosts. When they reach the place, they find Nanoka standing there. She is only passing through because this is a shortcut to school, so it saves time. For the first time, Nanoka hears a voice coming from the old street, but no one else hears it except her. So Nanoka decides to go inside and check it herself. After a few steps, she suddenly finds herself lost, and the whole place changes around her. She is transported to another world. Literally the same street, but in a very old era. Ghosts of people who used to live there appear. Nanoka thinks she may have entered the wrong street or something, and she keeps looking around, not understanding where it leads. She is also shocked by the old clothes of the people and cannot understand how transparent their bodies are. Then she realizes that these are ghosts and tries to convince herself otherwise. She turns back to leave, but suddenly a girl calls her from far away and makes sure that Nanoka is really human. Nanoka notices that the girl is injured and has a needle stuck in her back, but suddenly her face changes and a giant praying mantis comes out of her body. Nanoka sees it coming at her to kill her, so she runs away quickly, not understanding where this giant insect came from. She starts running as fast as she can, and the mantis is still behind her. Then a young man named Mao appears with his assistant Tuya. Nanoka still does not understand the strange place they are in, and she confirms that Mao is not transparent and looks human like her. She calls out to him loudly to save her, but Mao just stands there and waits for her to deal with it on her own. The mantis drops down on her with its blade. Nanoka gets injured, and the moment her blood touches the mantis, it destroys it and nearly finishes it off. But Mao moves with terrifying speed, pulls out his legendary sword, and cuts the insect apart from every direction. Nanoka realizes that he really defeated the monster. Then Tuya goes to a part of the body, digs inside it, and pulls out a small mantis. That was the thing causing the trouble from the beginning. He then takes it to Nanoka and asks for permission to take the insect from her. He also tells her that they had been looking for it since morning. Nanoka gets angry because Mao refused to help her from the start. Mao says, "I thought you were strong and would know how to handle yourself." Nanoka says, "Strong? What are you talking about?" Then she is shocked when she raises her hand and finds it has been cut off. Tuya rushes a bandage to her and says, "Please miss, there is something wrong." Nanoka immediately faints at the sight and thinks this must be a dream, and that she will wake up from it soon. When she wakes up, she finds her hand back again, but when she sees the bandage, she understands that it was not a dream at all. The strange thing is that she does not feel any pain. Tuya is happy that she is still alive, and he tells her that Mao treated her arm. Nanoka still does not know who these two people are. Tuya goes to the barrel and takes the mantis insect out of his pocket. Nanoka understands that this is the monster that chased her earlier, but the parasite has returned to its true size. Mao tells her, "Why were you not able to fight it?" Nanoka gets angry because he arrived too late and could have saved her earlier before she was even injured. But Mao thinks that she is strong because of her blood, since the moment it touched the monster today, it ran away in fear. Nanoka does not understand anything from the nonsense he is saying, and she does not understand what her blood has to do with what happened to the monster. Mao begins to suspect that this girl may end up becoming a monster in the end, but Nanoka is upset by his words and walks away immediately. Our man Mao follows her and says, "I have not finished talking to you, by the way." Nanoka thinks he is crazy and does not answer him. She returns to the street again and looks for the gate she came out of. The moment she sees it, she runs as fast as she can while Mao keeps chasing her, still convinced that she is a monster and wanting to know her story and the story of the craziness she came from. Nanoka tells him that she is the one who wants to know everything, and she asks him not to follow her again. Then Mao suddenly disappears from in front of her and realizes that she was able to cross the barrier. Nanoka returns to the city again and finds her friends standing there, still talking, and all of them do not understand why she looks so messed up. Nanoka herself does not understand what they are talking about, and Haruka says that she looks terrible, like a car ran over her face and her back, and her clothes are covered in mud. Nanoka realizes that everything that happened was real, and goes back home to take a shower and think about it. She remembers that it all felt like hallucinations, because when she looks at her hand, it is fine again. The next day, her grandfather notices that she has slimmed down again, and all the wounds that were on her face have completely disappeared. Nanoka tells him that the matter is not serious, and that she was only injured yesterday during the running race. Her grandfather asks her to be careful because her body is weak, and Nanoka cannot tell him the truth because he would get angry at her. And of course, if she told him what happened, he would never believe anything she said. Zoma appears behind her again and asks her to drink the deadly vegetable juice. Nanoka is angry and does not want to drink that disgusting juice, but in the end she drinks it so they will let her leave the house. Mao is still standing at the old Market Street gate, trying to understand how Nanoka got out of it. Tuya says that the monster girl crossed the barrier. Then he asks Mao what kind of medicine he used to treat Nanoka. They learn that it was a special medicine from the desert to make wounds heal quickly, and he also put herbs on the wound to purify it from toxins. They understand that Nanoka's power is sealed by something unknown. On the other side, Nanoka runs out again and is late for school as usual. Yui meets her while riding a bicycle and overtakes her immediately, but Nanoka decides to speed up. Suddenly, she finds herself flying like a rocket and does not understand what is happening to her body at all. Then she sees a car coming straight toward her, and the driver thinks that he hit her and killed her. But Nanoka jumps up quickly and finds herself flying over the building. The owner of the car gets out terrified, thinking that he ran her over and she went under the car. Yui sees everything from far away and says that it is impossible for this to be the Nanoka they know. Nanoka takes a breath with difficulty and does not understand how her body changed like that. So she decides to go back home because she is too tired, and she tells her grandfather that she can barely move and asks to stay home and miss school today. She lies on the bed and thinks about everything, wishing it was all a dream and that she would wake up from it. She does not understand how she ended up flying in the air like that. Then she realizes that all of this happened from the moment she entered the old street, and she feels that Mao is the one who has the answer to these questions. When she goes out, she finds her grandfather preparing the vegetable juice with Zoma. Nanoka says she changed her mind and is feeling better now. Her grandfather agrees that she can go to school, but only if she drinks the juice before leaving. Zoma tells her that this time the dose is concentrated. Nanoka can no longer tamil it, so she escapes from the house and goes back to the gate of the old market street. She tries to convince herself that it is just an ordinary street and that people are walking in front of her and everything is normal and fine. Then she crosses the gate again to see what will happen, and as soon as she enters, everything changes. In the end, she returns to the ghost street again and confirms that everything that happened yesterday was real. Tuya immediately runs toward her when he sees her again. Nanoka asks him if he knows Mao, the one who was standing there yesterday. Tuya tells her that he is Mao's servant, and he understands that she wants to meet Mao again. But Tuya says that Mao is investigating the city's matter because everyone feels that something strange is happening here, and the bodies of the people have become transparent like ghosts. Nanoka thought that only those two were alive there, but Tuya tells her that they only arrived yesterday. Mao reaches a large house in the city and remembers the person he is looking for hiding there, but he cannot feel the evil aura coming out of him. Suddenly, he finds a huge guard standing behind him and understands that Mao is not one of the people of the city. Mao says, "Are you really a guard of that size?" The guard says that Mao looks suspicious and seems like he wants to cause trouble. Mao decides to expose him and says, "Fine, let's do some acting." He throws a sticker on his face with a spell written on it. When he removes it from his face, it becomes a huge furry beast in the end. The guard reveals himself and turns out to be a rat demon. Mao understands that this is the monster that will help him. When the beast tries to attack him, Mao throws salt on the ground. As soon as Mao stabs it with his sword, the rat screams in pain. Mao understands that binding a spell to the fur on its body means that if he pushes the sword deeper, the pain will become many times worse. He asks it to talk about the city and wants to know who built it and who placed the spiritual barrier on it. The rat says that it does not know anything about the matter because it has lived here for a very long time. Meanwhile, Nanoka reaches Toya and finds him torturing the monster. She thinks that he is fighting another ghost, but Toya tells her that Mao is an exorcist and healer, and his main job is killing monsters and ghosts. This is the first time she learns that exorcists really exist. The rat says that the town appeared by chance and nobody knows who built it in the first place. Nanoka does not understand who Yuki is, but Mao makes sure the rat really knows nothing, so he puts his sword away and walks off. But the rat decides to attack him and bites him from the back. The moment Mao's blood touches it, the rat screams from the pain and finds that the blood is eating away at its body until it turns into a skeleton. Mao was expecting this from the beginning. Tuya says, "Take care of yourself, man." Am I supposed to sew your torn clothes every day or what? Then Mao realizes that the monster girl came back again. Tuya says that her name is Nanoka. When they return, they wash Mao's clothes from the blood. Nanoka asks Mao to treat her, but Mao says there is no need and treats himself immediately. He tells her that anyone whose body comes in contact with his blood will die without hesitation. Nanoka gets angry and says that she is not some monster. She thinks that Mao is a genie or something similar to them, but Tuya reminds her that he is an exorcist. Nanoka does not believe he has magical powers, but Mao tells her that this is a curse, not magic, and that Yuki, the cat demon, was the one who cursed him. Nanoka thinks that Yuki is some legendary monster in the shape of a cat, but Tuya explains that Yuki is a demon that was cursed by insect magic. Insect magic is a ritual of blood among demons where they bring poisonous insects, snakes, and scorpions, lock them all inside one barrel until they kill each other, then use the remaining blood and shells in rituals. Tuya shows her the insect barrel he has with him, and it is the same barrel where he threw the insect that chased them yesterday. Tuya collects scorpions, spiders, and snakes inside it, and leaves them to kill each other until he gathers the largest amount of blood from them. The last one left alive is called the Haikyuu, and they use it to create curses or kill humans with poisons. We learn that Yuki the cat demon came out this way, entering with many cats and killing them all until he turned into a demon and became the Haikyuu that won inside the barrel and transformed into a curse. She asks him how that wound is still there, and Mao tells her that the wound appears and disappears from time to time, and this mark appeared after Yuki cursed him with that power. Mao thinks that Nanoka came back to say something important, but Nanoka says that she wants an explanation for what happened to her yesterday, because she was a normal human and suddenly transformed into something else, and she still does not understand what is happening to her. Mao does not even believe that she is human in the first place, but Nanoka says that this is the truth because her father and mother were ordinary humans. She remembers the accident that happened 8 years ago when they fell in the road in front of the old market street. Nanoka finally remembers that she saw a black shadow ghost standing still in front of her until it came close to her suddenly. And that is where the legendary episode ends, honestly. A fiery spring anime, and it looks like the next episodes will all be pure destruction. Legend. So now make sure to go hit like, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.